Welcome back. We are back with another one, guys. And yes, it's another one from Jubilee. This one popped up on my timeline. It's called, Is It Okay to Have a Preference of Race? Interracial couples agree or disagree? I really like this one here. I remember Fresh and Fit were in the media because people were claiming that they were bashing black women or whatever because they said they had a preference to not date black women. So that is a interesting question to say, is a race a preference? I don't personally, it's like that sounds like, it sounds very, very weird. Very weird to say that. I think when it comes to a preference, I think it's more understandable to have a preference of like if you're athletic, hobbies, personality traits, different things like that. But to say that, oh, if you're this race, that's my type, that's a little wild. That's a little wild. But let's let them talk about it. Get right into it.
Freak stuff in the bedroom. If race sprinkles is put into that context, what do we think of that? Like
how would race be put into the bedroom?
Use your imagination.
I have unintentionally been racist towards my partner. 3, 2, 1, go.
I've definitely been ignorant.
So we were.
I wrote it down.
So we had an argument, and I was upset, and I had previously expressed how the stereotype or the stigma on angry black men or angry black women and how that makes me feel. And so we got into an argument. I was an angry black man, but in that moment of anger, he actually called me an angry black man, which
is like the worst thing.
Made me go crazy because that was like the one thing, and I talked to him about. So that was a really bad fight, and it never happened again.
Right. I feel like, I'm strongly disagree, but I think as just a white person, I am just inherently ignorant. So I think I'm gonna move to somewhat agree. Dating a black man has completely opened my eyes more than I already thought they were open,
To be fair, you've never said anything that made me feel like, damn, she's racist.
I'm from the Bay, so it used to be in my vocabulary where I would say the N-word with the A. I would rap it. I would do just those things, but my slang in general would just tick her off. And then I became conscious of it, and I really liked her, or I still do, of course. I love you. I started changing the way I speak. I feel like she should be over here too. She would do Asian accents.
The only time that I feel like I could be offending Asian people is when I'm mocking you when you're mocking your mother. So I only do the accent when he does it, making fun of his mom. Before that, I never did that, so.
Okay guys, so we're gonna do something different. This is called hot takes. And basically we let our audience submit hot takes and assumptions that they make about interracial relationships. They're really hot.
Oh boy.
Sex gets steamy since you are interracial.
I think it adds to
I like the
appeal.
differences between us.
Yeah, definitely. There's not like any weird role play or anything. But yeah, definitely, makes it fun.
I will say, like, when I'm not with you, people will like be like, oh, like, I know why you're with the black guy. And it's like, that's like super disrespectful, because it's like, that's like definitely like on the line of like fetishizing like a race.
There's not many sexual stereotypes about white men. But like walking down the street, especially dating an Asian woman, like I get looks from men all the time, and like, oh, like, right? And like people like actually like calling me out while I'm right next to her.
Interracial relationship.
I'm gonna add to that. I just speaking for myself personally, I don't think anything gets extra steamy or whatever because my wife is white. It's like, I don't know. It's hard for me because I've been with her for so long that she's like, she's just what I know, you know. She's not just. I don't look at like, yes, Lindsay is white, but I don't look at her as white. It's like, it's hard to explain, honestly. Let's just go on. But I don't think being from a different race, unless you're like a racist person that gets to sleep with the person that you always racist towards, I think that's when like that like fetishizing and all of that stuff will come into play. But you know, sex is sex. Just grow up. Sex is sex. Let's continue.
It can be a fetish, and that's okay if it's love too.
Even if you love the person, you just fetishizing that person is
feel like it
good at all.
devalues
Yeah,
it.
and you're devaluing the entire community in itself.
I think there's always room for growth, so I can understand if it starts as a fetish and then along, you know, the relationship, they actually fall in love with that person and they realize that, okay, it wasn't okay for me to initially just like you based off of that.
If it's between two consenting adults, the freak stuff in the bedroom, if race sprinkles is put into that context, what do we think of that? Like, it's just in the bedroom, or is it like possible to just keep it in the bedroom?
How would race be put into the bedroom?
Use your imagination.
It doesn't even matter if you're consenting or not, it's still wrong.
Yeah.
Right? Like you want to say that stuff, you want to do that stuff because of the stereotypes you have of those people. And that doesn't really sit right with me whatsoever.
Yeah, that's a little strange. I feel like, to want to be in a relationship with someone, could you fetishize their race? That's a little weird to me. And I wonder where that comes from. I wonder if it comes from like because I do see some people that they'll say like, oh, I wonder what it's like being with this kind of girl, or I wonder what it's like being with that kind of guy. I can understand that from like a curiosity standpoint. Maybe you haven't grown up around that race of people before, but like to start a relationship and all of this strictly because of the color of their skin, that is wild to me. How can personality matters. You have to talk to this person. You're not just looking at their color. Like, that's wild. If you are in a relationship with somebody strictly because they're a white girl, they're an Asian girl, they're Mexican, you got some soul searching to do, man. Because that's really weird. That's some real life weird stuff.
I have always wanted mixed babies. 3, 2, 1, go.
At one point in my life, I kind of wanted to have mixed babies with almost every race. I don't know if that's weird, but I just wanted, I'm real into genetics. I would like to see how my kids would turn out in every race.
Jeez. As a mixed race person myself, you don't have a group of people to really be around. I mean, sometimes you connect with one side, sometimes you connect with another side, but for me, it sucked actually a lot. I've accepted myself. I'm black and proud. I love the fact that I have both of these cultures and I really don't care. I just have to teach my kids that because of your skin tone, you either gain privileges or lose privileges.
Like, I've had people at work, like, who will be talking about themselves and I'll show them a picture of Ivan and they'll be like, oh my God, I totally wanted black babies, like, when I was, like, a teenager. And it's just like, this isn't Build-A-Bear, like,
Right.
this is a human, like,
Right.
So.
And I actually have an 8-year-old mixed child. It's been very challenging, but I've had to stick it out because I want to be a good father and I care about my kid. So
This isn't Build-A-Bear, this is real life. And in my mind, I wanted to have kids that was exactly my skin tone or very close to it and look like me, because I am conceited as well. Where the hell I'm gonna find somebody to do that and it work out and they're just the perfect wife? I don't believe in that anymore.
It's funny because that was actually something we talked about when we first started dating. That became an insecurity of mine. I was like, so why are we dating? Because I cannot provide absolutely any of that for you. And so I understand, like I said, why he feels that way, why a lot of the Black community feels that way. So I'm just glad that I'm accepted now in our relationship for that.
Yeah, I'll say my wife and I, we get it quite a bit. People will say, oh my God, you guys are going to have the cutest babies, or mixed babies are so cute, blah, 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 blah. And it always made me feel a little weird, like is that all you view us as? Is just this color black and color white, and we come together and just create something cute. So it's like, I think people, I think the idea of interracial relationships are being, seen a lot more, but there's a lot of misconceptions about couples like my wife and I. We don't really like to hear stuff like that. I mean, we know our kids are going to be cute, but rather my wife was darker skinned and she's the same person, or I was lighter skinned, whatever. Like, why does that matter? Why does that matter? Why does that have to be such a forefront? And I'm not going to lie, I get it a lot when I'm talking to white people, and maybe they don't realize it, but like, we'll be talking to some older white people at my gym, and they'll always say, you guys are going to have some really cute babies. Like it's like they want to let us know that, man, you're black, she's white. Like, oh, that's really cool. Like, why is that come to the forefront of your mind so much? I know we're different, but do you not know how to have any other conversation besides what our children are gonna look like? It's like they make it so glaring that it's like they want us to understand that we are interracial. It's like, no matter what, you guys are gonna have a cute baby. I want you to know you're interracial. You know that, right? Like, we get it. We've been together for 11 years. We understand we come from two different backgrounds. We're two different people. We get it. You can talk to me about other things than besides, what our offsprings are gonna look like. Like, this is not some geneticist class. Jesus Christ.
I sometimes feel like I betrayed my own race. 3, 2, 1,
Betrayed.
go.
Yeah. I definitely feel like that. Man. I feel like, especially where I'm from, I did my people a disservice by playing into that stereotype. And knowing what I stand for now, it's hard for me to feel like I'm going to be taken serious in the future if I ever want to speak on controversial topics. My people won't respect what I say because, like, it doesn't add up, my views and stuff. And then I'm dating somebody outside of my race behind the scenes. I feel like I lose respect in a way.
Me growing up, like, I was never always seen as black, whether it was because of how I looked or how I talked or my culture. But then when I get with someone who's not black, right, they're like, oh, you're betraying us. Oh, like, I get comments under my DMs like, oh, Alex, you're not with us no more, right? And I'm like, do you want me or do you not want me, It doesn't bother me if you don't want me, and I understand it is what it is, but don't pick and choose and don't nitpick little things, right? If you want me to be part of your community, then accept me for who I am. Don't say that because I'm half, I don't get to participate in certain topics or certain discussions.
That's very interesting. I didn't know a lot of mixed race people thought about that, about not be feeling like they're accepted from either side. That's very interesting. But I will say, like, just on that, no, I never felt like I betrayed black people because I'm black. My mom is black. My cousins are black. My grandmother's black. I'm black. Because my wife is not black does not mean I betray anything. That is some racist crap. We talk about so much how we're treated certain ways, but as soon as you see a black man with someone who is not black, now you want to degrade him. You're doing the same thing that your so-called oppressors have done. You guys got to get, when it come to seeing a black man like me with someone who is a non-black woman, man, y'all got to get over it, brother. I'm gonna let y'all know something. When I was growing up, I was teased by all black people. You know that? And I still, when I was in elementary school, even middle school, still tried to talk and date black girls. They were not rocking with me for real. I was always called really dark or blah 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 blah, always talking about my skin tone. And I get to high school, I meet a girl who doesn't judge me for any of that. Doesn't judge me for any of that. Never once have I ever felt like I was looked down upon because of who I was from my wife right now. Never. Never. But you know who did make me feel weird about things? Black people. Not just black women. Because I don't want people to say, oh, he just mad at black women, blah, blah. No, it was black men, black women. It was my cousins. They tease me all the time. It wouldn't matter if Lindsay was black, white, or whatever. It was the love, genuine love that she showed for me throughout our relationship. It's something that you can't replicate. And I will say this to you guys. Do not limit yourself on being with someone who truly loves you for who you are just because someone's not the same skin tone as you. That is so limiting, and that is like we're perpetuating the same racist BS that the world is already dealing with. It's like you live in America, we preach democracy, and we preach, unity, and we preach people coming from other countries. But as soon as that line gets crossed into a relationship, now you got a problem where you can live in the same neighborhood as somebody who looks different from you. But as soon as one of those people becomes your wife or your husband, then it's a weird problem. That's some strange stuff. And then the other brother saying like he feels like he can't speak on black topics because his girlfriend is white. Look in the mirror. You're still black. No matter who you date, you're still black. No, I don't care because my wife is white. You think I don't deal with racism still? You think I don't deal with bigotry from white people? It doesn't matter. I don't get no, oh, he's a good one because his wife is white. I don't get that. I'm black through and through, and I'd be damned if anybody tells me I can't speak on black topics because my wife is white. You gonna have to force me to stop talking, and I guarantee y'all gonna want a brother like me talking, someone who's very insightful like myself. I can speak both languages, baby. I can go to the hood and talk. I can go to the suburbs and talk. It does not matter. It does not matter to me. So it's very strange when I see people trying to downplay somebody because their wife or their husband doesn't share their reflection. Now, I can understand you being upset if that said person wants to go that Candace Owens route, marry a white man, and then degrade black men every chance he gets. I don't do that. Even on my last TikTok, when people were getting real upset because I critiqued a black woman or black couple, it was a critique. I never said that they were anything bad. I critiqued it. Just like I will critique my mom, I will critique my little brother, I critique myself. I can't critique myself because I'm black and my wife is white. I can't critique myself now. I can't critique nobody else. Y'all got to get out your feelings, man. And you will never grow if you're hypersensitive like you guys are, man. Let's continue, though.
Being linked to another race has its benefits. 3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah.
I guess I feel like the word like linked kind of confused me because I feel like experiencing another person's experience, like what their culture, like the way that they live, is definitely personally beneficial. But I think that like in terms of how others view me because I'm dating a white man, I don't find that beneficial. Like I feel like people might have like preconceptions about who I am because I'm an Asian person who's chosen to date a white man. Yeah, I had a question for, I guess, other people. Like, do you ever feel like being with a white person like could shield you from like discrimination, or like that they could like stand up for you in a certain context? Like if you were in like an altercation with the police or something, like would having a white person there, like,
sure,
right?
Sure.
It would be helpful.
In that sense, and that's what I kind of thought of when I heard the question and I was listening to you. It's just like, I don't know, even a customer service experience. I don't know, just random experiences where the person on the other side might judge me based on me being black, but versus someone else calling, or him calling, and it's a whole different experience. So they might treat us individuals differently. So there might be a whole different experience based on just that.
I feel like an outsider with my partner's family. 3, 2, 1, go.
So I'm sorry, Grace. in our lives, especially today, recently, politics plays such a huge part in it. And because you come from a conservative household, that's different from where I come from. And it does make me a little bit uncomfortable to know that I'm gonna be meeting people and have to have close relationships with them, and they don't value what I feel like I value in my life.
He's actually the first black man I have ever dated and the only person of color within like my family just in of itself. And so certain members of my family with the same political values as us like had to kind of confide in me like, hey, we support you with whoever you date, like we're here for you. So it was interesting to kind of see the different sides of my family members that I didn't necessarily know.
When I met her father for the first time, we were walking to get food and we saw the Ronald Reagan Museum or something like that. And he's like, oh yeah, I love Ronald Reagan, right? And you can have your own personal opinions on presidents, but Ronald Reagan was like, he's like the main reason why black people are incarcerated. He's not a very good person to black people. So I was just kind of cracking up about that and I was kind of awkward, and I know you kind of bit your tongue on that as well.
Yeah, it was hard to not say anything.
But I was thinking about saying something to maybe like be like, oh, I don't know about that, but I didn't want to like argue with your father on the very first day that I met him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that wouldn't be very fun. Yeah. I don't know if I can exactly truly connect with him because of that. He's a very nice person, obviously, and he makes me feel comfortable, but at the same time I have to recognize who I am as a person.
I would say I somewhat agree because with my partner's family there's a language barrier. So I guess it's my responsibility now to try to learn the language, but sometimes when we're together, they're talking, I have no idea what's going on. So I think that's a bit of why I feel like an outsider, but other than that, I feel welcomed.
I will say that honestly, that is something I still kind of feel like to this day. It's not with her immediate family, but yeah, I am the only black person, you know, in the family. You know, I am married and now, so it's I'm not just dating. We've been together for 11 years. That's a long time. Since I was 15 years old. So definitely in the beginning, it was a lot of conversations, you know, when I would go over her, you know, aunt's aunt and uncle house, you know, that just kind of made me feel a little bit uncomfortable, you know, little things that were said, especially when Obama was in office. That was like, man, oh man, that was very interesting. And then, like he said, with a lot of the political stuff, because I find that a lot of white people vote their interest, even if it means that the person that's, you know, the president in question has a spotty past when it comes to racism. I find a lot of white people don't change their voting habits based on that. It's typically very financial and very you know, just black and white when it comes to that. And it's like a lot of them are able to compartmentalize the hateful things that said president or said, you know, elected official has said or done to people that look like me. And it's like, since it doesn't affect them personally, they don't really care about it. So I will say that it's a lot of things that, you know, they're just not around a lot of black people. I'll say it, you know, and a lot of her family probably will watch this video, but a lot of them are just not around black people. So maybe, hopefully, they can even watch my videos and kind of understand what we go through a bit more and try to understand who I am a bit more. Maybe that could be a, you know, an added benefit to this YouTube video. But I just think a lot of white people who have, you know, a new black family member because of, you know, maybe their daughter or son is dating someone who is black or whatever race, I think they have to, I think you should just try to learn more about them in a way that is not only from your lens as a white person, but try to put yourself in their shoes and, you know, maybe you'll learn something. Let's continue. Last one.
I wish we were the same race. 3, 2, 1, go.
I'll start. I feel like that would just be the default easiest way to navigate through life. But definitely, obviously, growth happens when you're in interracial relationships. But yeah, that's kind of why I chose somewhat agree.
Yeah, I guess it, like you were saying, like I just feel like it would be easier in some aspects, and then for me, just like being mixed race, I have felt very like disconnected from my culture. So I feel like dating someone from who was like Chilean or who was Korean would help me. But I also agree, like obviously, if you were white, you wouldn't be like you, and so I don't like wish that. And
The benefits outweigh like what I gain. It kind of sounds weird coming out because it's like, what do you guys get out of dating white people? But like, white people, I feel like we learn a lot.
I think it's interesting that everyone's saying that they feel it's easier, because I feel like it would be more difficult, me having a black man and raising a black family, that it would be more difficult if I was maybe with someone who was white, who could probably have benefits in other ways. I'm grateful for my husband, and I love being with him. And I think there's a lot of benefits just culturally.
And you guys, that is.
She a little off to me. But I'll say no. I don't wish Lindsay to be black. I don't wish her to be anything besides who she is, because if she wasn't white, she would not have the upbringing she has. She wouldn't have the parents she has. She wouldn't have the heart she has. And maybe I wouldn't even met her. Maybe I wouldn't have met her. It's a lot of things that go in to who you are. So I wouldn't change a thing about you, baby. I know you're watching. Lindsay, I love you. I love everything about you, no matter what. No matter what anybody says to me or you or whatever. We in there forever, baby. Me and you through thick and thin. I got you. And that is going to be it for this video, guys. I appreciate you stopping in, rocking with me. Got a new shirt. I hope you guys like it as well. But follow me on Instagram, guys, at Jamar Anthony. Follow me on TikTok. That is Jamar Anthony. And lastly, follow me on Twitch at SSJ Lando. Until next time, guys. Peace.
Ooh.